Hi everybody, Young Fairy here, and it's time for Floss Tube. Floss Tube. Where have I been? I did not abandon y'all. You know I'm sick. I already told you about all that. Let's see. This summer, I got my life back. I had it back for like just a few days, but as it slowly crept back and the meds began to work, finally after 2.5 years, the meds were starting to work. I started doing more and more around the house. It was so nice because we built this house. It's a lovely house. I love it to death, but I haven't been able to clean it ever. So I was busy cleaning my house, which is going to sound really weird to most of you because you're like, come over and do mine. But yeah, I got to clean my house for the first time. And so now I really feel like I own it, you know? Before it was just like different. And every time I moved a lot when I was younger, and every time I moved, I'd pack everything up in my little Ford Mustang and I'd go all by myself. And every time I moved, I immediately cleaned the apartment that I was going into, sprayed it for bugs in the whole 9 yards, and caulked everything. And until I did that, it wasn't home. So now it's got more of me in it, which is nice. And of course, I found all the things that have busted in the last 13 years. So as soon as I pay off all my debt, which should be in another few months, I'm going to start putting all that money, which is about $500 to $800 a month. Yeah, it's a big one. It's like the second. It's for property. Anyway, I'm going to put it into the floors, replacing garbage sink tops with like granite and marble, and the sink in the kitchen is like a double basin white porcelain that's all etched because it was outside in the rain and I didn't realize that it was going to be bad. It's terrible. Always has been. And we need a new fridge, but in order to get the fridge in, because ours is so small, we'd have to take out the cupboard that's above that, and I don't think I want to lose that space, but stuff like that is what's going to get done, and I'm so very excited. So I have a list. If I could even read it right, because I can't even read my writing now. But anyway, so after the summer, then I had one good day. I mean, I was like, fine. Me and my daughter, we went out to the local community here. We're an hour away from most major cities, but 20 minutes away, there's a small community. We went there. We hit every thrift store. There's like 3. We went to the dollar store. We went to the pharmacy, I think. Maybe not. We parked in the pharmacy. Anyway, we went to lunch, had the most amazing salad with a huge steak on it. It was so good. And then we went to the market and bought some stuff. And I did fine through the whole thing. I was up and on my feet, and it was like amazing. That night, later that night, meanwhile, love stories like that. Anyway, my husband came home and he was starting to sniffle. This is not autoimmune disease. So I have no immunity. And I wore a mask, but it was, you know, the surgical mask that doctors wear. And that thing, I have to warn you guys, I think I'm going out of order here, but that thing is no good. All my masks are over there. I can't believe I started this without my masks. This will not protect you if you have an autoimmune disease. These are only good if you personally are sick and you're throwing sputum all over everybody else. It's going to keep them from getting it because it's going to keep it with you. Those of us who have no immunity need what's called a respirator, and it's some of them have a little exhaust valve, and the only difference is it's got this thing that's rated either N95 or N99, and they are filters that cover. I got them. They're filters that cover. I lost one of them. I paid $20 for it. I think I left it on somebody's chair somewhere along the way. So these ones have this filter inside, and they're rated either 95 or 99, and these have 5 different filters inside of the filter that you see that will trap everything. They go inside of here so that you can wash your mask, and these are called exhaust valves, and some of the masks have these. They have to be closely fitted, up here and down here. So a lot of them have like this little gusset thing down here. And there's another one up here. They fog up your glasses if you don't have the exhaust valves. So I got me a huge box of disposable ones. I got the elastic and the little thready things for the ears to adjust them. And I've got my fabric ready to go. So I'm going to start making them as per me. I don't personally like black on my face. So I've already looked really bad because I've got a new thing. I've got a disease in my eyes now. Little miss, stop eating the flowers, please. And so when I get out there between the sun sensitivity from the lupus and this new disease in my eyes, when the sun hits it, I just start screaming and crying. So I have no pause. So there's a patch. Okay, so I've got this cream colored patch or a peachy orange patch. The mask, which mine is was gone, kind of creamy floral thing. It was cute. It's probably still in this mess around here somewhere, honestly. The mess. You can see the mess. But this is for you. So I am going to make myself and a couple of friends masks. And that way we can look good and still be protected out there in the world. And I swear the next time the boys bring home an illness from that sick place that they work in, I'm moving out. Can't deal with it. Can't deal with being this sick. So I was sick from last week in September to midway through October, and I had to miss an infusion. And that's the worst part of it, was when you're sick with something like SLE or cancer and you're getting infusions, you cannot come in there with a cat scratch that's infected, a cut that's infected, infection in your lungs, a cold, nothing. They won't touch you. So I had to go 6.5 weeks. I'm supposed to be every 4 weeks. If I go every 4 weeks on the dot, exactly 4 weeks to the day, then after 6 months, I'm great. As you can see, I covered this with makeup. It's coming back. Oh my gosh. I tried to cover it for y'all. There's only so much you can hide with this disease, though. It's nasty. Enough. Okay, so the reason why I lost my mojo was because I no longer had to sit in my bed or in one place for an hour at a time, then get up and move. I got an RFA coming on my back because I'm not able to walk as good as I was either. I was walking around the block down here. It's like a mile. It's so nice. I was taking the dogs and my daughter, and we just talk the whole time and have a ball. It'll come back. It'll come back. So anyway, embroider.com is on Facebook and on the internet, and they had something from October 19th to October 31st called Witchy Stitchy, and everybody who stitched for 1 hour every day and hashtagged that and posted on their Facebook group the before and after picture to show that they'd done the work. Not missing a day. My internet was down. We're in California. They turned off our power, so I didn't have internet for 2 days. I had to go to the library. It's like 20 minutes away. I tell you, man, my life, right? So weird stuff, though. It's not, oh, I couldn't get to the store and I can't clean my stove, and I feel sorry for people who work. I don't know how y'all do it. People with SLE who work, hats off to you, man. So anyway, I worked Witchy Stitchy, got my mojo back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot to get you my finishes. I don't think I have them out here. No, I'm gonna be right back. 2 seconds. Okay, so it was more like 10. I have finishes. I can't believe it, you guys. I'm so stinking excited. You know, the only thing I've ever finished is Raven Queen, right? Not no more. So I love Carolyn Manning Designs. She's awesome. She's on Facebook too. She does sales and everything else. So I've showed you this before. I sang you the song. Hamlet's done. I'm so excited. Isn't it cute? I love all the ghosts and the apples and the pumpkins. They're all so, I mean, yeah, it's Halloween and I don't do Halloween. I never have. Not since I found out how bad things get out there. I just don't like to celebrate bad stuff. So, but this, it's like cute and sweet. And it was so much fun doing it. And I changed a lot of the colors. There's no turquoise in hers, or blue. And then this here is supposed to be like an orange and a red, but I don't like the orange so much. So I changed a lot of the colors. I told y'all what these remind me of. And I sang you the song, so I'm not going to do it again. It's too embarrassing. So that was my first finished. I finished that within a few days because I didn't just stitch for 1 hour. I was sick. And so I kept stitching and stitching and stitching. And before you know it, Diamond Flowers was finished. I'm so excited. This is exclusively from Lakeside Needle Works in the UK. They're the only ones who you can get the pattern from. Then I finished another one. This one is a seasonal tree thing that she did, and it was a sale. And the first one that came out was winter, and then spring, and then summer, and then fall. Excuse me. And what I want to do with this, remember back in school we used to roll these things under, make a flap, and cover books with them? I mean, we didn't use these, but we did paper, and you know, I thought, how fun. I could just like back it with some fabric, make the stuff, the folds I need, and ta-da! The other two are going to become pillows. I will show them to you when they're done. I have a done stack. I cannot tell you how good this feels. I mean, after spending this much money, I thought, cross stitch, it's just a few threads and some fabric. Not so much, as you all know. Okay, so these guys are done. Peacock. I have Peacock. I'll show you that. Snowflake, I have not gotten caught up. I'm way behind on this one, and Fabi Riley. And then Sans Souci. The people who put it out, soandsoco.uk, went out of business or sold their business. And all of a sudden, all the clues came out. And for some reason, that just... Plus, I'd lost my mojo. So I didn't do this one, but he's next. Actually, this is the one I'm working on now. He's next. I've been working on weeds, and that's just coming along smashingly. Put that one aside and didn't touch it. Oh, and then I have a new ad. It's Disney. It's like the old Disney. And it's like all the characters and the villains. I think the villains are in there. Okay, so maybe it's just all the 1950s stories is what it is. The villains aren't there. So far, I bought massive yardage. I can't go down to 18, so this is 16, and it's the Easy Grid. Can't stand marking everything either. Got tired of that real fast. And you have to wash that stuff off. So this Easy Count stuff, you don't have to wash it off if you get full coverage with your thread. So yeah, I'm gonna do the Easy Count on the 16. But because this stinking thing is so massive, it's like 63 by 58, I think. Okay, so it's gonna fit into just over a yard. I bought 48-inch long oak woods, put the stuff on it, put the screws on the ends, and I got myself a huge frame to go into my lap stand. And then the extra stuff, I learned this. You know the Q-snaps? You know the thing that goes over the Q-snaps? I'm buying some more because I found out that if you have a 1/2-inch piece of wood, sometimes you need to add a little bit of fabric to make it tight. But you can use a Q-snap and put that on there. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to have all this fabric hanging out over there, so I'll roll that up, pin it, and have it snapped on. If might be a problem. I think rolling it is where the problem comes in. But if I just need, you know, this much space over here, then this is okay to be messed up, you know? So I had to have the long, they're not long enough. You got it. I have a tendency to do over and over and over. Let's see, Disney. Oh, Kirkle. So I can't remember if I had my Kirkle back then, but I love my Kirkle. What it basically is a subscription program where you get this part. It's a very many different flavorings that they have. They have caffeinated, they have energy drinks, they have plain water, stevia, pure water, all kinds of junk. And I love the watermelon. I just love it. And I love the peach tea. They're so amazing. So what I do is when I want caffeine, they also have taurine in them, which is a good thing. It's a natural thing. That's in the Go Sip. When I want the caffeine, then I'll have the caffeine one and I'll change it out and use the water. Because I've got a little mini bottle for walking now. I'm going to get back there. And I put it into the mini one, the whatever I don't want to have. So, Kirkle, I'll put the URL into the comments below. Before I forget, hit the bell with the scribe. And email me. Yes, I'm going to put my email down there. So, because I've got stuff that I want to tell you and I want you to talk back. Please talk back. I like talk back. Do you remember, wait, I want to show you my peacock. Before I go any further, I want to give you the update. So here's Peacock. Remember this one? This one is a free cow by where's my peacock? Linen and Threads. And you can find their group on Facebook, and you can find them online at linensandthreads.com, and that's where you get the stuff. Got my little needle minder, my peacock needle minder. I just love this thing. I've been painting it. I get this, guys. So I got that one, I got this one, I got this one. When I got down to here, like these are months apart. When I got down to here, I realized all the pots were blue. How crazy is that? I didn't even know I was doing that. I was able to use special threads. There's some metallic in there. I think you can see it. And then I carried it over into here. It's really dark in this room. I might not be coming back here. And then there's like crystals for their eyes and little beads down here. And I put the crystal in this guy's eye. They're Swarovski bicones. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. The most recent one, full month, finished the body. And I just love these guys. I did the gray squirrel and the red squirrel to emulate the guys, and painted with thread by putting two different colors together. And then, you know, this guy's got those tufts. So I thought that was fun. And it kind of, you know, is a little bit different in there. So now what we're doing is there's two big huge borders. The first one is like 2 inches away, and it emulates this border that's in here. It's smaller. And then next month, we're gonna get the big thing that goes in between. So I'm kind of waiting for that, because if you miscount, I had to redo the whole bottom of this because I miscounted. So I'm not looking forward to doing that again. And I will, you know. I'll just be going blithely along and be way off and have to redo everything. It's the way I roll. This is my trusty dusty lap stand. Okay, so for the first embroidery.com, they gave us a frame. Granted, it was only 6 inches, and I don't do a lot of small work, but nice. They had like hundreds they sent out. They must be rich. That's all I can think. They must be doing well. Of course, with people like us behind them. Okay, so this is the one I'm working on right now. This is Weeds. I'm sure I've showed it to you before, but I got to the center, and I really love it. I love the specialty stitches. Algerian eyelet. And my husband said this looked like a thistle somewhere in here. And these guys are just terribly cute. I was thinking about beading this one too, but the stitching is so pretty that I might just skip it. So yeah, I'm getting really close to being done. Look at that. I am so close to being done with this one. I need to get back to it. I've had to do a lot of doctor's appointments because last week I was found in San Diego sunning by the pool. I know I'm not supposed to, and I know that's what's making the things on my arms, but oh, I love it. So Disney, this thing is so hard, you guys. I don't know how on earth I'm ever gonna be able to get all these. It's like, there's a million, actually, it's not too bad. Everything where you see an X, I already have them. These are all estate sales stuff that I had on hand. But like over here, there's no X's. Those are the new ones. Oh, that's not too bad. That's all it is. Not too bad. I'll get there. So once I get there, it'll officially get up on the board. It's kind of in the unofficial spot right now. The other one that's not made it onto the board was I've been thinking a lot about, have you ever, so this is one of the questions, have you ever done embroidery work where you backed the embroidery with a piece of muslin? That's what they want me to do. This is Diane Van Niekerk's Girl Reaching. And it's amazing. I bought the entire kit, spent way too much money. It was so worth it though, because I got in scads of silk. Granted, I could have painted it myself, but I really enjoy getting kits sometimes. Sometimes I just don't want to take the time to make these big, huge ones, you know? Like Chantelane, I'll probably break down and buy one of those. I think they're like, I don't know, $300 or something. It's crazy how much these things are. One day. Anyway, I bought a whole bunch of her books, but there's one book out there. It's like $160, but in order to do her stuff, you need to have the pre-printed panels. Fortunately, I've been collecting Cicely Mary Barker's fairies for years, so I already have many of these. Well, not many. Yeah, maybe I only have this one. Anyway, I have the book, and now I can do that too. Yeah, okay. I need a pen. I'm gonna have to start marking this stuff off, because dang. Look, this is what I have to do on a regular basis because my brains don't work. This is like my work. I die, okay? So normally what this video was me and my daughter, see all the yarn over there? We dye yarn, and I design, she designs, we design shawls and other items, and everybody gets them all over the world, and it's great, but I've been branching out. And I found out last night, I've got this one that it's 100% cotton, the Ada, but it won't get soft. So I used something special on it last night. And it smells so good. But it's finally soft, really soft. Anyway, these are good for people who like them stiff. And then I have another kind of fabric. Well, it's DMC. And this is brushed steel. Just gonna flip through these real quick for you guys. I love this one. And obviously everybody else does too, because these are custom orders. Okay, and this is what I did for flower diamonds. This is purple, blue, and green diagonally. This is a new one. This is accordion in naturals, I think I called it. Might change its name, not sure. A Butastic, of course, because everybody wants Butastic. I find myself dyeing that more than, well, that and the diagonally. This is new, it's special, it's for Carolyn herself. I decided I was sending her stuff because without her, I wouldn't be doing anything, including cross-stitching. I just love her designs. So I really just want to send her, like, you know, some of our different silks, the bamboo, the cotton, and show her what we do, and maybe she can, use some of it. I don't know. I thought it would be fun just to give her a little random act of kindness box of stuff. So all of this, though, the brushed steel, man, I really gotta start marking stuff off. I'm gonna get lost. Is for this. Lila Studios Nevermore. I love it. And this is one that I've actually kitted. I'm actually making 6 more kits right now. With this comes the brushed steel fabric, fat quarters, 2 skeins of DMC 310. Our Italian silk. It is so soft. It's like you just want to stuff it in your shirt or make shirts out of it. This is the Raven for Nevermore. So he's going to be called, this is probably going to be called Nevermore because we already have Raven from years ago. We made a shawl called Raven and it's so popular it still sells like hotcakes today. And then we made Raven's Brother, which is a different color, and then we have Lestat, which is very popular. All of these are colors that we put onto the yarn, and then we over dye them black, and then we have Back in Black, which is like 10 different sets of color, which has color showing more through it, and then we have Back in Black Solids, which are like more over dyed, so you can't see the color so much, and you can use it for lace. So anyway, this is what I'm making. I'm over dyeing cotton. It's all ready put up and it's all ready to go, as is the silk. And I'm making a slew of these kits. So if you want one, everything is going to be in here except for the pattern. And I'm going to add, see all these little white bar? Stop. Those are the ones that you're not supposed to do. I thought, how awesome would it be to put beads in there and have it all shiny for his, that's what they're trying to emulate, shine. So I'm putting beads in the kits. Okay. Blanket Afghan. How am I only right there? I gotta scoot this up faster. Okay, so do you remember this? The bedspread. And remember I have all that size 7 Aida cloth. I bought like a ton of it. But I found out that the stitches slipped behind the thread because of the way it's woven. It doesn't have the caught threads. I don't know if it's old or what. I did get it from an estate sale. So, like, I have boxes of the stuff. So I need to start making blankets. And I figured out how she got that pattern so large because it's only 220. I found out through a lot of hard work and research that it's Ellen Mauer Stroll. I'm sure you guys know her. Anyway, after searching for a long time, I found them from one of my suppliers of all things, which helped. So I bought that and the matching border and another little accenty area so that I can fill stuff in. And I have another set of these that are different. The problem is the border that I want, I really want to make this, and I really want to make this, the border and the centerpiece. This is the centerpiece. Look at all the colors. What I want to do is, I've got a huge box of yarn that I'm not using out there that's been sitting out there since like 2006. And it's like probably 100 different colors. So I figured, good chance that I'll be able to find enough to do it. I just hope that there's enough of the skeins of the colors, like 3 if I needed of the blue, in order to do this, because I guess I can always dye more though to match them. Yeah, crazy. I'm insane. I must be insane. This is all insane stuff, but I am gonna make that blanket one day soon. So long as the mojo holds out. Okay, found out how to get the size of the original. I need to simplify the colors. That was the thought, was to simplify the colors on there so that you had like a light, a dark, and a medium blue, and just went with those, a dark, a light, and medium red, and just went with those. And then the other accents are like, there's a pink one that I would have to do, and then the greens I would have to do, but then to do all the brown in all one color, and all the yellows in all one color, because they're little highlights and stuff. I don't know. Oh, This is what the notes are good for. Nevermore is only $36.71 for the kit. You do not get the pattern in there. If you want it, email me, yarnfairy1@gmail.com. I'm going to put that in there. Yarn Fairy load. Okay. I think there was more stitchy stuff. Okay, so do you back your Diane Von Kirk? Has anybody done that sort of an embroidery? Because that's the only thing that stopped me from working on it. The thing is in a frame, and I don't have it out here. It's in a frame ready to go, and I just haven't started because it's thick. It's like not a duck, but it's very close to that. It's like a canvas. And so my hands hurt from the SLE, so just to get my needle through the barrier is going to be really hard. To get it through another piece of muslin on top of that is going to be impossible. Oh, my rugs. Okay, can you see it? You can't see it. There's my loom. See the rug? Ooh, I love trying to do this and it can work. Okay. See, that's a rug over there. And finally, I made one, washed it in the wash machine, and it shrank, and it did wonderful things. This is raw fiber that you get off the sheet that's been cut. I dye it, and then I card it, and then I stick it in the loom. And it's amazing. It goes so fast. When you have everything prepped and ready for you, you just shoot it through there. It's great to have somebody out there helping you, because in order to card it, you have to do the picker, which you put all the fiber very slowly, piece by piece, through the picker, which has nails. And so it's doing this, and it's getting all the VM and everything out, hopefully. Then you put it through the carder, the drum carder, which is in that window, and it's got finer teeth, and it aligns all the fibers so they're all going in one direction, so that you can then stick it through the thing easily enough. Yeah, so I have dyed indigo, nightshade, which is a beautiful blue purple, deep space, another deep blue purple, grapes. I have dyed black. I've got all these lovely purpley blues coming out. And so I think I'm going to rip that down and start again and make this. Plus I've got a finer grade of wool that I've been dyeing this stuff on. I'm really excited to get it. It's over there. I'm not bothering you guys again, sorry. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. You'll be seeing that as it works out. I was thinking though, it might be nice to add a pop. I love turquoise right now. Obviously, Boo-tastic thing has it. And yeah, so like, but a deep blue turquoise, so it's kind of dark and saturated. I think that might make it into there too. Okay. Oh yeah, another thing that helps with that eye thing and the SLE and the sharpness, and I get a migraine afterwards, which has always been something that I've been so proud of and so happy to say. You know, people say, well, how do you feel? And I tell them, you know what? I don't have a headache. And I'm very grateful for that. I can't say that anymore because that whole eye thing with the sun and the light, it makes a migraine. As does talking and half a dozen other things. But yeah, so, oh, did you notice? You can't tell me this. I lost 50 pounds. I'm screaming and jumping up and down. You just can't see it. 50 pounds. So I'm writing this little thing. Somebody asked me, how'd you do it? So I've been writing this sort of monologue. And I'm going to have that available for free for anybody who wants it. I'm going to make it into a PDF. It's halfway done. Just need some editing and a bunch of filler. So if you want that, email me. I don't know why email me got like that, but maybe it's a button. Okay. Lungs. My lungs are gone too. My doctor had me do a chest x-ray yesterday. I told him it was going to show anything because Usually when something is in your lungs, I hate to think that the SLE is moving in. It goes into the major organs and that's how you die. SLE doesn't kill you, but the disease attacks the organs and that's what you end up dying from. So as I breathe deep, I end up with pain down here. And what a downer. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this. So I asked Doc today, I said, every day, doctors, I got like 20. I said, can I have a different kind of test? So hopefully that'll get done soon and won't be any more of a problem. Kitted Neverland and Raven and quilting. Oh my gosh, you guys have been quilting. So I pulled out my machine, took it down and had it serviced. All these buttons, none of them worked. You couldn't slide it over to save your life. And this is where you're supposed to be changing over here too. That button didn't work. None of it worked. When I went to do the bobbin, the needle kept going. That's an old school thing. That's like a Singer featherweight from the 1940s to have the needle still going. That's me. So I spent $130 to get my machine cleaned. Crazy high amount of money now, but it's done. And I found, I stopped quilting in 2006, probably, I think. It's been a long time. And I found my Y2K quilt I started gathering these things back in 1998. And I thought it was lost. I literally thought this was in July area where I was tearing everything apart. Finally, my daughter ripped one more time into the linen closet after we had been through it, and I was just sitting there going, okay, throw it away, keep it, throw it away, keep it, and we had these big piles growing, and finally she gets down to the very back and she's like, I'm not going to move that, it's the humidifier, I'm just going to leave it there. And then all of a sudden she's pulling it out, and what's underneath of it? My Y2K quilt. It's been in a shoebox for years, 20 years, more than 20 years. The thing that's special about it is we made 3-inch squares of 25 different fabrics, and we sent them all over the world. These packages, they all fit into an SASC business size envelope. And what you needed to do was make a Siggy block with your name, where you're at, and people decorated them or didn't. Some people spent an awful lot of time on them, and some people did not, which is nice because you'll have some that are plainer and others that you'll just sit there and look at, and some people even put buttons on theirs. They're decorated with beads and stuff. Amazing work. I'm so pleased to find my quilt. I cried for ever, made huge posts about it, and I'm thrilled to have it. So most of the squares, charms, have been put into the quilt already. These are what's left, and I had to actually buy more from Etsy, I think it was. And I had to pull from my own stash because I couldn't get a lot from Etsy of the colors that I needed or something like that. I don't know. Plus, more fool me, did a watercolor wash. I wish I had somebody in here to help me with this. I can't see a thing. I'm blind, you guys. That's what that disease did to me. Okay, yeah, I'm in here. Yeah, I'm in here. So, top left corner. There we go. Top left corner is yellow, and then it goes down through pink and red, and over there it turns into the blues and greens and purples, and then down at the bottom it goes into black and red. I have that. I started the second half. I have 3 more rows to go. And did you notice it's making a separate design inside too? So you've got the pinwheel that carries on. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, very exciting to get this finished. I'm going to use some Millennium fabric. Yeah, I've already got the binding cut. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I've got some of the border cut. This is what I call Millennium fabric. It's got the year 2000 on it. I really love this one. I used this one earlier on another quilt that I found, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And then there's this one, which is all the major cities. And of course, back in the day, we still have the Twin Towers. Never forget that day. I don't think anybody will. So this stuff has to go in there. And then I just bought this. I couldn't believe I found it. And this. I don't know where they're gonna go, but they all have to go into my Y2K quilt. After I get that top piece finished, I'm gonna put a blue border. Then I'm gonna put the Siggies. I'm gonna make 4 patch blocks. And as many Siggies, I think it's only one that I can put in for every block all the way around. I don't know what it is that I've got, but somehow all the Siggies, the rest of the squares, they're going to make 4 pouches, and I'm going to stick that into the quilt. And I probably will do that very randomly and not follow a color scheme. I'm kind of burnt out. And then I might put more blue around the outside because it's still kind of small. It looks really big. But we have a California king-size bed and a husband who's 6'2", so I need the length. And the width, we were fighting over our quilts last night. And then he woke up sweating, so he took one of them off. So funny, this huge man in this huge bed. Anyway, so yeah, all of this stuff has to go into the quilt. So I'm very excited to get this done. The other thing I found, this is the Nifty 50 2000. So it's also called States Block Swap. Unfortunately, they're defunct. Everything, I went back through, everything is gone. The place where I found the pattern for my Y2K quilt, it was a mystery, and I started the blocks. I had half them. This is really funny. I made half the blocks back in the day, okay, and used a 1/4 of an inch plus and was not accurate at all. Came back to make them just recently, and my quilting, my sewing skills have improved. I had a business in between, sewing business, and yeah, I made scant 1/4 of an inch, and I had perfect seams, every one of them. And my half square triangles were amazing, or not half square, yeah, they were, because I cut it off. Anyway, yeah, wow. So I was afraid the quilt's going like this, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I have to make all these borders. So I'm going to put the border on, iron it out really good, and then cut probably a lot of the border off so that it stops waving. What can you do? You can't do much, huh? So I was Mississippi. This is the magnolia, I think, for Mississippi, because don't they have like the magnolias in the Old South? Anyway, this is the quilt. I love this thing. It's so awesome. So let's see. It's every single state. So up there is the Man in the Mountain. I think Old Man in the Mountain is what it's called. I had to search this one to figure out what it was. Here's Eugene, Oregon. Not sure why. Here's, what's it called? Jacob's Ladder, I think. Linda Ferguson. Here's me. I'm there. And look, you know where that is. And here we have Alaska. This one's amazing. It's Bargello and applique. And this guy, think it's called Minky. I'm not sure. Got a beehive. This is where I used the 2000 fabric that I was saying. I gotta show it to you. And then I put cornerstones of the darker Millennium fabric. Buffalo. This one says Oklahoma, of course, where the buffalo go. So yeah, there's tons of them. I got a covered bridge. Probably Cape Cod somewhere out there. Weird stuff though too. Like this was the main fabric that we had to use. And then you could do whatever you wanted inside of that. Arcs are so hard. Can you imagine making 50 blocks out of that arc thing? Or any of these, man. This is cool. She did the state. I would love to do another one of these. I have a purple one and I have this one. So the ones that didn't make it onto the front, I didn't want to lose them. So I put them on the back and I made myself a few more. Some of these were like, huh? Purple? I ain't putting purple in my quilt. Or, you know, whatever. And this one, somebody took the time to pleat this, to make siding for the house or the church. There's no way I was gonna get rid of that. So yeah, I'm back to quilting. I have an amazing long arm quilter. She does all my work and we barter, so she gets yarn for all the work that she does for me. And we both have insatiable desires, so it's really easy for me to send her yarn. Another friend that I started, I started the Peacemaker's Calendar Quilt for 2000 back, don't know when, long time ago. And me and my friend, we make 2 of the same blocks and then we send them off to each other. This one's not very complete, but it's got oil rig and corn silo, and I think I showed it to you upside down. Here it is. And it's got a lot of embroidery on it and stuff after you applique it all. So once you do, oh, isn't that cute? Hello, bun buns. Hello, bun buns. Hello, bun buns. Once you applique everything down and embroider it, you make 2 blocks. I send one off to her, and once you've done, you know, the first one, it's easier to do the second one because you're just doing it. And so yeah, we do that and exchange them. She's faster than I am. Oh, there's this train. The train starts way, it's an old-fashioned train too. Starts way up in the corner and it meanders down and it goes over a bridge and it comes back and then it comes all the way down to the bottom of the quilt. And the whole train, there's like 3 trains in this, and it's really big in the front. Oh, and then I get to do this one block on the bottom left. It's a tree that goes over 2 blocks. And the blocks are like 14 inches, so it's big. And there's a boy sitting in it, and there's bluebirds. I've dyed the fabric for it. I thought how special it would be to hand paint fabric and have it for the quilt. So these are my hand paints. So I was thinking maybe 1 or more, depending, you know, and then beaks and stuff. Yeah, I always overkill. You didn't know that though, right? So yeah, I'm quilting again. Oh, and I started swapping. Swapping is fun, and it keeps me out of trouble. Yeah, you wish. So I hated this one. This one I will have to keep. It's too busy. You can't hardly see that there's a moose. This is the winter swap. So I'm going to put my mooses, because I had already cut them out, on this fabric, and he'll look better on that. But isn't it funny how I just cut these things? I don't plan this. His eye is the deer's eye, and it works. So I think I'm just going to make 6 of these, because I didn't realize how much fabric it was taking up too. And then I'm going to put a snowman. He's kind of a rustic snowman. His head's kind of tilted, and he's got these wood arms and a carrot nose, and I'm going to use beads for eyes and his buttons down the front. And I cut the fusible web so that, you know, it doesn't stick all the way in the middle. And then I was able to cut the hat out of what was left of the middle, and then I'll buttonhole in black all the way around him because he'll be cute like that. So yeah, I needed my machine back really bad. I finished so many swaps though. In September, I must have signed up for 10. And it's insane nowadays because they're not centralized. It used to be that the Nifty 50, there was a hostess. You sent everything to the hostess with some money for the return shipping. And it all worked out. Nowadays, it's all one-on-one. So you spend a stamp for each person, or 2 or 3, and in some cases, $5 or $10. And I spent $40, and I was just like, then that's it. I'm gonna do some centralized swaps. So that's what that's for. That's actually going to a hostess. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah. Okay. Sylvia's bridal quilt. So I'm like dying to work on this. I have all the fabrics. That's another thing that the hand paints are for. I have a Dear Jane, and these are 4.5-inch squares. And my Dear Jane has like a slew of these blocks. I can't remember how many is in Jane. And then she's got triangles on the outside. And it's just beautiful. But what I want to do is make one. I've already started my designing. I'm probably going to do the color wash because I love that so much. I was thinking about making it like this though, so that it comes out looking like this. We'll see. And it's not like any of these quilts. I want mine to be black background. You can see how pretty they come out when they're done, not in the beige. I'm not too much of a fan of beige. And I'm definitely not a fan of batiks anymore. I made my quilts 20 years ago. They've been on the beds. They've been used, washed, you know, taken care of, but they've been used. And all the batiks are shredded. I had to pull 2 quilts just recently and put down a whole bunch of patches on them because they were falling apart, which is just really sad. So I've determined to use the batiks only in places where, like on the Sylvia's bridal quilt, it's going to be hand quilted. It's very rarely going to be used, or I'll use it in wall hangings. I'll use it in clothing. That's the other thing. I've been doing a lot of sewing. This is my iTouch holder. The camera that I'm using is my iTouch. It goes in here, since sometimes I don't have pockets because I wear a lot of skirts. And then I can hook my earplug thing up to here. And yeah, it doesn't fall out of my pocket if I bend over, or out of my bra if that's where I decide to stuff it, and pull on my ears. That's the worst sensation in the world. Ooh. Yeah, not fun. I can't believe this. Dude, we're almost there. Okay, so I'm making the masks. I'm making the iTouch holders. I'm making the pillows. And I will show you the pillows eventually. The very last thing at 53 minutes. Oh my God, it's going to take me 24 hours to load this video, you guys, because we live in the sticks. Swiss Christmas is open. I told you we do designs, right? So I found this and I loved it. So we made this color in yarn. I think I've got one right there. My daughter, we went away to San Diego, I told you. My daughter dyed all of this yarn while we were gone. Can you see me? Gee, I should have worn my glasses. I can't see a thing. And there's a bag. So this is for Swiss Christmas. I was thinking what fun it would be to start designing cross stitch and making threads to go with it. Didn't it come out nice? Where'd it go? We went right off the picture, as you can see, with the purples and then into the pinks and the yellow orange and then off to the green at the top. And that's been cut a little bit, so you can tell. So when I went to design it, I started with a triangle, then I went into a square, then I decided to do a half circle. Went with the whole pattern. And The design is a star, there's bells, and a snowflake. I love that. I love that it just kind of, it wrote itself. And then once I get in there and started playing with the bells, they became an entirely different thing. You can't even tell they're bells. But they each have a clapper, so while you're knitting it, you'll know that it's a bell. The other one that recently came out is Pixie number 1. Read Robin Hood. Oh, this is bad lighting. You can't tell, but the lace is so awesome down here. It's a shawl that has a hood. We do a lot of those. Mostly they're Pharaoh-y, but she did something really weird and different. And it's just, it's like this really warm, snuggly thing. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see that. It's got awesome lace on the end. It's awesome. Really needs 4 skeins. The kit was 3 skeins. I think she adjusted it so that it's not that anymore. Then we did Hidden Passages, which I call Liz because it's dark shadows. We have a dark shadows magnet that we send out with that one, and billions of pearl beads because it needed it for the edging. There's 6 different colors in the shawl, so that you start with, you can't see it, but there's a dark gray on this side, and then it goes over and it ends in the light pink, and then there's a triangle in the background. So what this is a stole, but instead of having it just fall down and roll, I don't know if you guys have that problem, but I do, you put it up here and the triangle holds the rest of the stole so that it doesn't slip off or fall into the elbow crack or whatever. I love this thing. And Jackie, who knit this one, she did a beautiful job. So it's the gray. This is Strings of Pearl. This is the color. We have Yak also, which is a dark color. We can do that one in Lipsticks, which is all different colors of purples and reds and fun, bright colors, deep colors. And then we have Dark Shadows Window, which is amazing too. I can't wait to see more of the shawls as they come forth and are created in all the different colors. Anyway, if you're interested in knitting, go check out the website. And I think we're done. Yay! I think we're done. Yep, I'm done. And that's enough. Oh my gosh, you guys, 57 minutes. I cannot believe that I have that much to say. I should have come to you sooner. I really should have. And hopefully next time I will. Because, I'm glad I remembered this. Okay, embroidery.com. Go over there. Sign up for Thanksgiving. They're doing another challenge and they have a prize. So you're going to want to go and do that. I don't remember anything beyond that. I don't remember how many days it is. I don't know if it's just the 2 or if it's 4 or what. But you got to go check it out because they give good junk. They really do. I love that place. Everybody there is amazing. Melinda is so helpful when it comes time to pick out a fabric or find the different threads or whatever. Oh, and everything you saw today and much more is on the website on the cross stitch page. We have almost all the dyes have been done up in the cotton colorway. I'm starting to work on the silk colors, and everything that you see up there can go either paler or darker. Needle minders, fabrics, got it all. And we do custom work. Okay, I'm shutting up now. I gotta shut up now. It's an hour. Oh my God. Bye guys. I hope you're doing well. Please email me and tell me what you think and what you're doing and whether or not you want my little book. And yeah. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. And I will see you next time. Bye.